The Second World War wasn't just fought on battlefields, it was waged daily in kitchens and pantries across the world. Food became precious. Ration books dictated every meal, and spoilage was a constant threat. Most homes lacked refrigeration, so families relied on cellars, pantries, and clever improvisation to keep food fresh. Every scrap was treasured, and the absence of modern conveniences forced people to rediscover old wisdom. Gardens became vital, hedgerows provided wild foods, and the hearth was the heart of survival. This era demanded resourcefulness, turning ordinary people into innovators. The story of the home front is one of resilience, adapting, observing, and finding solutions in unlikely places. People learned to harness simple, natural processes, listening to the past to survive the present. Survival depended not on force, but on quiet observation and respect for nature. Dairy products, milk, butter, and cheese were especially challenging to preserve without refrigeration. Milk soured quickly, butter turned rancid, and cheese dried out or grew mould. Families wrapped butter in muslin, stored it in cool water, or hid it in the coldest corners. But spoilage was often inevitable. Hard cheeses lasted longer, but even they needed careful handling. Each dairy product required its own strategy, and the loss of any was a real blow to nutrition and morale. The larder became a laboratory, with families monitoring temperature and humidity like scientists. The high value of dairy drove the search for better preservation methods. Existing solutions weren't enough. Something new, or perhaps ancient, was needed. The answer was already in their homes, drifting quietly up the chimney. A forgotten technique was about to be rediscovered. The breakthrough came not from laboratories, but from everyday observation. The kitchen stove, always burning, sent a gentle stream of smoke up the chimney. Someone noticed that food stored near the chimney, perhaps a piece of cheese or a pat of butter, lasted longer and developed a pleasant aroma. This wasn't heavy smoke for curing meat, but a light, cool, salt-tinged smoke from daily fires. Salt from coastal wood or kitchen use infused the smoke, creating a unique preservation medium. The smoke and salt drew moisture from dairy, slowing spoilage. Word spread quietly, over fences, in ration lines, from mother to daughter. Families began hanging muslin-wrapped butter and cheese in the chimney's upper reaches. It was a simple, elegant solution, born of necessity. This method worked because it combined two ancient techniques, smoking and salting. Wood smoke contains natural antimicrobials that form a protective barrier on food. The smoke also dries the surface, making it harder for bacteria to thrive. Salt, even in tiny amounts, draws out moisture and dehydrates microbes. Together, smoke and salt created a powerful, gentle preservation system. The process was cool enough to avoid melting butter or cooking cheese. The result, firmer, drier, subtly smoky dairy that lasted far longer. This was cold smoking at its simplest, effective, unobtrusive, and perfectly suited to wartime kitchens. It was food science, discovered by intuition. Integrating this technique was simple and required only household items. Butter or cheese was wrapped in muslin to protect it while allowing smoke to penetrate. The key was finding the chimney's sweet spot, where smoke was present but not too hot. Families hung the parcels high, away from direct heat, often using hooks or wires. A few hours of exposure each day over several days was enough. The food was checked regularly for firmness and aroma. This ritual turned perishable dairy into something that could last. Each home adapted the method to its architecture. Rural cottages used old curing chambers. City homes modified cupboards near the flue. Some drilled small holes for better airflow, turning cupboards into makeshift larders. The choice of wood affected the final flavour. Apple or cherry wood added sweetness, driftwood added salt. The house itself became a preservation tool, every draught and nook put to use. The chimney was more than a vent. It was a vital part of the kitchen's survival strategy. This ingenuity ensured not a single ration was wasted. Today you can try this method carefully. Use a clean, wood-burning fireplace or stove, never gas. Wrap unsalted butter or hard cheese in cheesecloth, tie securely and hang high in the chimney. Use a small smouldering fire with hardwoods like oak or apple. For extra salt, lightly brine wood chips before burning. Keep the food away from direct heat. Aim for cool smoke. Monitor constantly, never leave unattended. After a few hours, the dairy will be firmer, drier, and subtly smoky. Let it rest in a cool place before eating. This experiment connects you to the past and the ingenuity of those who came before. This preservation hack is more than a historical footnote. It's a lesson in resilience and resourcefulness. In a world reliant on technology, it reminds us to see our environment as a source of solutions. Low-tech food preservation is a vital survival skill, especially in uncertain times. It empowers individuals and communities to weather crises with confidence. Rediscovering these methods reconnects us with our food and reduces waste. The wisdom of the wartime kitchen is a legacy of practical science and adaptability. Human ingenuity thrives in kitchens and communities, not just labs. This knowledge is timeless, ready to be used whenever needed. We must not let this practical wisdom fade away. Sharing these skills through stories, workshops, or community groups builds resilience and connection. Teaching traditional arts alongside academics prepares the next generation for any challenge. Hands-on experiences, like cool-smoking dairy, make history real and memorable. The story of chimney-smoked dairy is a parable of creativity in adversity. By valuing and sharing this legacy, we invest in a more resourceful future. The quiet wisdom of the wartime larder continues to echo, offering timeless lessons in survival and ingenuity.